I am Madison Timmons.
I'm Chris Susie.
And we're paranormal specialists who live in the most haunted city on earth, Savannah, Georgia. Every day is Halloween in our line of work, so join us as we spin true tales of haunts, murders, and disturbing Savannah history. I'm Madison.
I'm Chris.
And welcome to the most haunted city on earth. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the most haunted city on earth. My name is Madison Timmons.
I'm Chris Susie.
And today we have Megan with us. Megan James.
Hello. Thank you so much.
Yes, we have Chris's wife, Megan, which all of you have been asking to see on the podcast. I'm not kidding.
I don't know why.
Well, because we've discussed your fears of Chris's haunted objects.
Aversions to all haunted things, really.
It's true.
To all the spooky things. But yes, so we decided to bring Megan on today because we're going to be playing a game. You want to play a game? Can I say that even though we're monetized? I don't know if that's a copyright thing, but it's
that'd be hard to copyright. I think you're okay.
That's true.
Well, it's the way that you say it.
Yeah, that's right.
Or yeah, well,
add any distortion to it and it's over.
Or if you go with the spiral version, I want to play a game. If you saw Spiral, then you know.
I did not.
Do you want to build a snowman?
Do you want to build a snowman?
So if you just change the tenor of the quote,
right, exactly.
You're fine.
Yeah.
Do you want to
play
build a snowman?
You want to play a game, and then you're good to go.
Exactly. But yes, so we're going to play a game. We actually asked the Parajunkies the other night because we came up with this concept over dinner, and we had decided that wouldn't it be fun if we came up with cryptid names and then had to decide where these cryptids live, what they do, and what makes them so scary. So we'll get into that in just a second. But before we do all that, we should definitely thank a couple of our new Parajunkies.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard to the spooky side. I have to pull it up on my phone.
Just tell them why it's so great to be a parajunkie.
It is so great to be a parajunkie because you get to first call yourself a parajunkie, and that is wonderful to begin with.
What a perk.
And first and foremost, you get a lot of extra content, a lot of things that nobody else gets to see, only the parajunkies, and it's all ad-free. And let's all face it, we will pay the extra money to get rid of the ads, and that is what it's all about. That's, how we deal in this society. Get rid of the ads.
Get rid of the ads. No more ads. But yes, so we want to thank Angie Fenton, Maria Cruz, Ricky Williams, Adrian Lopez, and Casey. Thank you guys so much for becoming Parajunkies, and I hope you enjoy this wonderful community of spooky people. But yes, other than that, though, we do also want to thank a few of our sponsors. We want to thank Cosmic Corner. Cosmic Corner is a local metaphysical shop here in Savannah. They have everything that you could possibly want for your metaphysical needs, your witchy needs, your spooky needs.
And they have an online store.
They do. They have an online store. It's called shopcosmiccorner.com, and definitely check them out. They're a queer-owned business. They are lovely, lovely people. So if you need witchy goods, definitely head on over there. But also, let us thank our other sponsors, Savannah Repertory Theater, who have their production of Empanada Loca coming up, which is going to be absolutely fantastic. JT and I just got a little sneak peek of the set the other day, and it looks absolutely phenomenal.
They do such amazing work. Their shows are phenomenal. And
it's going to be a really cool way to kick off your spooky season. It's the first 2 weekends of September. So that's going to be actually the second weekend and the third weekend of September.
So this is the first weekend of September, isn't it?
Yes, technically, yes. So that's going to be September 7th through the 10th, and then the 14th through the 17th. But to give you a little brief synopsis of it, pretty much it's about a woman who currently lives in an abandoned subway, and she has some odd ways of going about her clientele.
Indeed.
let's just put it this way. It's based off of Sweeney Todd. So if you know, you know. So
Only with empanadas.
with empanadas, and it's going to be a really good time. So if you're in the Savannah area, definitely check out Empanada Loca. It's going to be a really awesome production, and JT and I will be there at some point during the second weekend. So maybe you'll run into us, and I know you'll be going, I'm sure. So.
Oh, absolutely.
We don't miss a Savannah Rep show, honestly. We try to catch them all.
Exactly. So, yes. With that, though, let us go ahead and dive right on into the cryptids.
Boom, boom.
But yes.
Cryptids and or demons.
And or
Is that
demons.
right?
We can
It's,
decipher.
Cryptid and or demons.
I think it really depends on the name we get.
Exactly.
So we pick first and foremost cryptid or demon and then run with it and see what that thing is known for.
I concur. Yes, this is not a game that most people know or anything because we just made it up.
Boom.
So we're going to make the rules up as we go, I guess. But
Tell everyone about Oddlot.
yeah, I was literally about to get into that.
She's like, I'm getting to it.
I'm getting to it, John.
God.
But yes, so Chris and Megan actually own a improv company called Oddlot Improv. If you guys want to further explain what Oddlot is, but
Oh, you're going to look at me?
I leave it to you.
I'm just a guest here, sir. So Oddlot Improv is an improv troupe. We do short form improv comedy in the style of Whose Line Is It Anyway? And we don't have a home currently, but we do have shows every now and then. We've performed at the Savannah Reps space downtown. Family friendly. It's super fun. It's a lovely time and always super funny. I personally love improv, but I've seen a lot of improv, and I can say ours is some of the best. Yeah.
I would agree with that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, they do fantastic work, and yes, if you ever are in Savannah or if you live in Savannah, you see that Oddlot is doing a show, you definitely don't want to miss it because it's really fun, and the troupe is really, really awesome as well. We work with a lot of oddlotters and things like that. So
There's a lot of cross-pollination.
there is a lot of cross-pollination between us and the oddlotters, the lotters, if you will.
The lawyers.
But yes. All right, so let us pull up some names. All right, so the first one, I don't know who any of these names come from for the most part, except for one, just because I did see the notification pop up on my phone when this was posted. But the first name comes from Patrick Welsh with the Paranormal Society of
excellent.
Savannah, and it is the Boonkey Bandit.
The Boonkey Bandit. Oh my! Although that does sound like kind of like a redneck Robin Hood.
A little bit.
You know?
Honestly, I'm getting raccoon out of this, right?
Oh.
Like the bandit makes me think of the
yeah.
eye patch. I'm seeing a raccoon, but like a human-sized one.
Oh yeah,
Which
sure.
would be a
There you go.
mess.
That would be
So we're definitely going cryptid.
Cryptid.
over
Cryptid.
demon.
For sure.
Cryptid over
I
demon.
think fuzzy but scary.
Yeah, the more you add bandit to it, it kind of gives it its own flavor.
But
as
we
it were.
can't deny Boonkey.
Boonkey.
So, the
Boonkey.
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 So he lives in the boondocks.
The Boondocks, naturally.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would make sense. So it's a raccoon, a massive life-size, well, not raccoon life-size, but human life-size raccoon that lives in the boondocks.
Mm-hmm.
And
I feel like he comes for your trash. Like the way you get him is to have an unkept trash area. Your trash can overflows, and that's when he is summoned to.
Fair enough, but giving him the bandit moniker, let's not forget that raccoons have fingers.
Hands. Too many hands.
So we can infer that the Boonkey Bandit in the dead of night comes a-crawling into your house and takes your pre-trash before it's garbage.
pre-trash.
The pre-trash. Rifles through your goods.
through the
Rifles
refrigerator.
through your pantry, into your refrigerator. Think about it. It's claws reaching into your pantries and your refrigerators, taking your goods
Chris,
and off into the night.
everything pre-trash
Yes.
by definition?
That, fair enough. Children, beware. This child is pre-trash. The Boonkey Bandit's coming for you. Coming for
Honestly,
you.
that's exactly what I think the Boonkey Bandit does. Is so if you live in the boondocks, then you must
Or
be
boondock adjacent.
Boondock adjacent.
adjacent.
You know, for when the pre-trash isn't that great and they've got to outsource the
Right,
pre-trash. So
There's better pre-trash in the neighborhoods.
So
you know?
when you get hit by the Boonkey Bandit, do you go, that wasn't even trash yet?
Exactly.
Yes.
I didn't throw that away.
I wasn't done with that.
That might even be it. Like while you're eating, it shows up and just takes it out of you. I'm not done with that.
You've seen the videos of the birds swoop down and take
Yeah.
like fries out of your hand. That's him, but he comes into your house and he opens the door with his thumbs
Skittering about.
and he just like plucks it out of your hand
Busts
as
it
you're
right out of
eating.
your hand. Like if you've ever been eating popcorn and then you're like reach in and you're like, I already
out of
finished this
it.
popcorn. The Boonkey Bandit had come and emptied the popcorn while you're eating. You're not eating as much as you think you are. The Boonkey Bandit is actually cleaning your plate, taking your snacks.
I mean, have you ever been microwaving something and you walked away? You come on back, but it's just gone. Because
Wait, that was just me. I'm sorry.
oh my God. That makes so much more sense, actually. Since
are
we've just
you a
made it up.
Boonky Bandit?
I might be a Boonkey Bandit.
That wasn't
Oh,
even
no.
trash yet.
It wasn't trash yet.
It's pre-trash.
Pre-trash.
You with your thumbs.
I do have thumbs. Oh.
Oh, so that might be you know how like the Hat Man has different evolutions.
Right,
of it?
exactly.
Like a Pokemon?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Megan, you clearly haven't listened to the podcast enough
I was
because
hoping I wouldn't be called out on this. I have not. I listen to this man a lot, though, at home, so I figured I've done my due diligence.
yes. But yes, the Hat Man has many evolutions as well, exactly like a Pokemon, because you've got
I'm not even in my final form.
exactly, and so Chris is slowly morphing into the Boonkey Bandit. So
Or the Boonkey Bandit had evolved into me.
Ooh,
That's messed up.
The
That
final,
is.
I don't like that.
The final iteration is
Just Chris Susie.
Chris Susie.
yes.
That was just there's more
Bunch of Chris
you
Susies just out there.
around. How many Boonkey Bandits turn into Chris Susie and just are pre-trashing it up?
Are you done with that?
No, I told you.
Are you? How did your steak out?
Where'd all the popcorn go? That is you.
It's me. Oh no, I'm the
right.
Boonkey Bandit.
So there you go, Patrick. I'm sure that's exactly what you were picturing when you.
He's here. He's in the room with us.
Is he in the room with us? Oh,
Oh, in this, yeah.
oh,
okay,
yes. Yes, is he in the room right now?
No,
Where are you
no.
hiding,
He's
Patrick?
a Boonkey Bandit too.
Oh God, this one's gonna be one for the memes.
I'm Boonkey Bandit.
All right, so our second creature, demon or cryptid, Squonk, the demon.
Oh well,
I guess-
it kind of says it in the
Actually,
name,
I
doesn't
think
it?
we should try to make it a cryptic, just like
Right.
do a workaround.
Squonk the demon.
So it's a squonk that wants to be a demon.
Oh, there you go.
And so, therefore, it's got body dysmorphia,
Squonk.
and so
It's a
Squonk.
Pokemon too. That's
Yeah.
all he says is squonk.
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 And
It's just
so-
fun to say, squonk.
Exactly, yeah. So the squonk wants to be a demon, and that's why it cries. Instead of being so ugly, it's like, oh no, I'm not a demon. I had to be born a squonk.
And it raises an interesting question because the identifying feature of a squonk is that it has self-esteem issues. So what if you had a self-assured squonk? What if the squonk wasn't, a victim of poor self-esteem, but in fact an arrogant squonk?
Ooh.
So now we have an arrogant squonk. The thing that we never really learned about the squonk was that, according to legend, for those of you who do not know, the squonk is a cryptid from Pennsylvania that is so ugly that it cries about it. And you find it by following the sound of its crying. And if you capture it, it will dissolve in tears until it's a puddle of bubbles.
Oh, it literally dissolves?
Yeah, it literally dissolves out of just pure sorrow and pity.
And so
But what if it didn't have pity? What if it were arrogant? What if it had horrible dissolving powers? What if instead of
acid?
dissolving itself, it dissolves other people?
So would it find people with low self-esteem and thus dissolve them? And I feel like
That's
squonk
actually
would change.
pretty good.
It would not be squonk, which is like an explicitive. It would be squonk.
Yeah, squonk.
Because it's like,
Squonk.
it's got,
So-
no more self-esteem, and she's like, squonk.
So What if it's
Squonky.
going off of your oh God.
No.
That does sound like a slur. I'm sorry.
Yes, squonky. No. So going off of your idea that it dissolves people with low self-esteem, it's almost like a hag where it
there you go.
sneaks into your house in this ugly, leathery creature pig thing.
It's a pig thingy. It's like a Shar-Pei pig.
It is. It's wrinkly. It's leathery. It's got
Covered in blisters and warts. And it just cries because it's ugly.
But
I'm so alone and ugly.
it crawls onto your chest and it starts crying. It's pity tears for you.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you're so sad. And the tears are acid.
Yes.
Oh, no.
And that would make it demonic, you know?
That would make it
Oh,
demonic.
okay.
There you go.
It's made it all full circle then.
Yes.
Yes, it is sent from the bowels of hell to punish those who have low self-esteem.
It's a,
Can you be sent from different points of hell?
Oh, I'm sorry. From the left pectoral
yeah,
of
thank
hell.
you. That's what I was looking for.
you know, that's where the squonks live.
The left pectoral of hell. Ew. So it's a real demon?
It's a real
Or a
cryptid
real cryptid that we're trying to
Yes.
make a real demon?
into a demon, yeah.
Yeah, it's a crossbreed.
The demonic
So-
squonk. The demonic squonk.
Yeah, it's a squonk that has been taken by the powers of evil.
There you go.
And so
So if it's gone from a cryptid to a demon, we need to give it one attribute, I think, that makes it feel like bat wings, like giant bat wings.
Oh,
it needs one thing.
A flying squonk.
there. So when it gets its bat wings,
That
it
too
goes,
sounds like a swear. Well, a flying squonk.
it goes from this thing that cries over its looks to a thing that's like, I got the wings now.
That-
Now
that-
you are the sad one, right?
That's true. That's true. And a flying squonk could be crying tears of acid that rain down on you as it flies over.
well, so if we were going in the realm of, you know, squonk ugliness, what if it got like a curly pigtail and used its pigtail like a propeller
Oh.
and like a helicopter, and that's how it
Aw.
maneuvers around.
I like it though. That's kind of cute.
You know,
Yeah, that's the problem with the squonk is, according to the story, it's so ugly, but everybody who gets to know the squonk
You're sort of sweet.
becomes very endeared by
you're
it.
kinda
It's like,
cool.
"Aw, it's squonk.
I
It's a
wonder if you would
squonk."
go after other squonks who hadn't transformed to their next Pokemon phase at this point.
Oh, could be like the central figure of a squonk cult. And then the
their
squonks
new
gather
squonk
together.
god.
And then, in time, it'll be an army of squonks.
so we need to give him Jim Jones glasses.
That's
as
right.
Well.
Jim Jones glasses. And he's like, listen, squonks, we've been crying all over our ugliness for too long. It's time to take it out on the peoples.
On the peoples.
Take it out on the peoples.
So we have now taken the poor squonk and
The lowly squonk.
transformed him into a demonic cult leader.
With no more self-esteem issues.
Yes.
Right. Well,
I mean,
in order to be a cult leader, you have to be pretty
That's
narcissistic.
true,
So
yeah.
there you have it.
So that's okay. Synopsis of
Let's bring it back to the center here, people.
of what we just came up with. So did we decide on bat wings or propeller tail?
I think propeller tail, because it is a ridiculous creature to begin with, so it needs an
Okay.
equally ridiculous mode of transportation.
Would it still fly though, just like with no
Yeah.
explanation?
Yeah,
the tail.
propeller tail, like a helicopter.
I thought that just steered it actually. So now I picture it floating, but also propeller tail, very small. It's like this way.
Well,
this
that's
way?
true. It could just like fill with gas,
Oh god.
and then
And then,
Maybe it fills with the
Like a
tears.
blimp.
Like it has to be full of those tears to get it on everyone.
oh yes.
There you
Okay, so cult leader squonk, Jim Jones glasses, propeller tail, hag-like creature now to give it its demonic little flavor, and it will crawl into your chest, to cry acid
Yeah.
onto you, and
it'll
then
cry on you, and you'll melt.
and then once you've melted into nothingness, then he takes your soul and brings it to the cult,
Yeah, there you go.
and they feast upon your
They
soul.
feast upon your soul.
So
I like it.
okay, cool.
Squonky.
So Squonk the Damon. Ah, yes.
Squonk approved.
All the squonk lovers that we've converted last week are now.
Did you just say all the squonk lovers? Because
Yeah, there's
we've-
quite a few.
I take umbrage.
You got to realize that there are squonk plushies and squonk T-shirts and squonk sweatshirts.
I didn't have to realize anything.
Oh, but I've already ordered them, so they'll be at the house.
Ooh, yes.
Girl,
But you already own a squonk. It's Starry.
And that's true. Starry's pretty squonky.
Yeah.
Squonk-like.
She's a potato.
She is.
She is a potato.
She is a baked potato. But
Yes.
all right. Well, Starry, unfortunately, is not on this list. Although I feel like that should be our last one. Is what would Starry be?
Starry as a cryptid.
Oh,
She is the potato that came to life.
So,
horrifying.
oh God, she kills you with love.
So much love.
But yes, Pipsqueak the Destroyer is our next one.
Oh, Pipsqueak the Destroyer. I believe that once you've added a modifier like the Destroyer, you're dealing with a demonic force.
I agree.
Yeah, it feels demony.
Chegou a melhor parte do podcast. É hora de provar a melhor Coca-Cola. A Coca-Cola sem açúcar. O sabor irresistível da Coca-Cola, sem açúcar e igualmente refrescante. Coca-Cola sem açúcar. A melhor escolha.
Pausa rapidinho agora para falar de dica de ouro para os papais e mamães. Depois de experimentar a nova Hug Supreme Care Fralda Roupinha, tudo ficou ainda melhor pro meu filho. É a única com canais em X que se adaptam aos movimentos, com 2 vezes proteção noturna e cintura elástica que se adapta ao corpinho do bebê, além de ser super fácil de colocar e tirar. Praticidade pura. Então guarda essa dica. Nova Hug Supreme Care Fralda Roupinha. Bebê, estamos juntos nessa, mais do que nunca. Agora curta seu podcast.
It does. So where would this demon live?
Excellent question. So, I think going with Pipsqueak as the moniker, and this is I'm not casting any dispersions towards this state, but Delaware, being the smallest state in the Union, I believe would be the place where Pipsqueak would exist, because Pipsqueak, of course, would be the diminutive demon. I'd say maybe no larger than this cup.
Oh.
I feel like if it's that small, though, it needs to live in a place with a ton of people. It's not making a lot of headway through stuff.
Oh, no,
so-
I think that gets picked on by all other things, so it has to also come from a place that is, manageable. Think of big fish in a little pond. Think of a little fish in a littler pond.
Oh, no.
And Pipsqueak thinks that it's the Destroyer, but it really only deals with about 4 square acres of
It just haunts a very
It's
specific spot.
It's
Very
like, I am the
specific.
Destroyer.
Maybe. So Delaware doesn't have to pay like tax on anything.
There you
right?
go.
So
See?
maybe that's what Pipsqueak thinks it's destroying is
Right. The tax rate, the millage rate of the state.
of living, and he's like, I am for the people.
I have destroyed the town.
Well, now I feel like you could definitely get people going to the 4 acres of land that he inhabits to
Right.
meet him.
Oh, thank you for that. No sales tax.
I destroyed it all. Well, what does he look like then? Like, what's happening here?
I picture the little pixies from Harry Potter, if you remember that.
Right.
The little
Yeah,
blue
yeah, yeah, yeah.
pixies.
Sure.
I want
also
glowing
like
eyes.
a button-down shirt with a pocket protector with pens, since he's obviously also a tax official.
Yes.
I think he needs glowing demon eyes, though.
And big glowing demon eyes.
Like you can see him at night, you know he's there because the eyes are just like bing, and you're like, oh, thanks.
No sales tax.
Thanks so much, the Destroyer, sir.
He's like,
So he's a small accountant, is what
Yeah.
we're saying.
with glowing demon eyes.
With glowing demon eyes.
He's like, I will destroy your local economy.
And he just shows up and he's like,
That is not a deduction.
I mean,
You cannot claim that on your taxes. Blah, blah,
he
blah,
probably
blah.
makes a good living, honestly. He's
Yeah,
doing
that's
okay
true.
out in his 4 acres of land.
Yes.
right. And of course he knows all the loopholes, so he's making a killing. He's fine.
And he
He's fine. Don't worry about old Pipsqueak.
he is small, but he is mighty. So
Yes.
Give him your QuickBooks.
give him your QuickBooks. So
That's it. Yeah, that's about as demonic as it comes. He evades the IRS legally.
legally,
Ooh, every loophole is his. Pipsqueak.
Pipsqueak.
For the people.
honestly,
Hear my roar.
Pipsqueak 2024. That is
Yeah.
that is what we're going with.
Yeah, Secretary of Commerce, Pipsqueak the Destroyer.
Oh, JT is just shaking his head like, why did I let this happen?
We gotta love Pipsqueak.
Yeah, honestly.
You made him sound so cute though with the voice, like so cute.
Yeah.
Oh, he'd be so mad if you called him cute.
Aw.
He's like, I take down everything.
I'm adding 6% to your income tax.
Just for you.
Thanks, Pipsqueak the Destroyer.
And that's what happens when you cross him, is that he adds.
Yeah, he adds taxes to your.
Okay, so don't get on the wrong side if you visit his 4 acres.
So if you have all these unexplained hikes in your taxes, it's Pipsqueak. He's coming for you. And the only way he knows how, because he doesn't have dominion over anything else than percentage rates and
So he's like a demonic fae almost, is
right.
what we have.
That's fair.
Have distinguished Pipsqueak the Destroyer as. Now, does he live in like a little like shoe, or like what does he live in?
Oh, that's good. He lives in a shoebox full of receipts.
Yeah, that makes that is the only way.
Yeah.
A filing cabinet.
He basically makes a nest out of your receipts that you turn in for deductions.
Wow, he's living his best life. That's what he loves.
Yeah,
If you want him to go through your receipts, you have to make some sort of gift to be worthy.
That's what you
of
do
his-
is you just put a box of receipts on your back porch, and he will nestle there and then serve your purposes, your nefarious tax purposes. And it's like,
I'll give you tax shelter. Cayman Islands.
the Cayman Islands.
And he eats $2 bills. That's
that explains it. That explains so much. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So yeah, you can trap him by putting a $2 bill, out under a big box.
oh yes,
Because remember, he's only this tall.
yeah,
Little.
not hard to capture.
Not hard to capture. And once you captured him, you can ask for standardized deductions, some
Made up write-offs. That would never really fly, but he has the ins.
He has
and
the
loops.
ins. Yeah, he knows how to do it. And if all else fails, you just ask him to file your taxes for you.
It's
I
true.
feel like you'd need a bigger gift for him if he was going to file your
a
whole
money
No, you
tree.
capture him.
You have to give him a money tree.
Okay.
It's kind of like the leprechaun. You capture a leprechaun, you get a pot of gold. You capture a Pipsqueak, you get your taxes filed.
I would rather the taxes filed, honestly.
Yeah.
Screw the pot of gold. File my taxes, please. Every loophole. Come on.
Every
All the
loophole.
write-offs, please. Pipsqueak the Destroyer. Help me out here.
And he will.
And he will.
Serenity said that she loves how unhinged this is.
Absolutely.
This is not our normal fare, but we are enjoying it.
Yes.
And that she loves Pipsqueak the Destroyer. Don't let the cuteness deceive you. Otherwise, bam, more taxes in the bank account.
That's
Yes.
right. That's right. Respect Pipsqueak the
That's
Destroyer.
why he's the destroyer.
Oh, yeah.
Because he will destroy you.
He'll destroy your 401k.
That Cayman Islands account,
Yeah,
government
boom.
knows about it now. Pipsqueak had his hand in it.
Pipsqueak.
Wow. So
Yeah, unhinged is a good word for this
that
game.
is a good word. All right. Next one is a twofer. Oogity and Boogity.
Oh, oogity and
You
boogity.
seem like you have a lot of stories popping up in your head with Oogity and
Because this man says oogity boogity often.
Yes, long before the podcast came along, I have used oogity boogity to decry great many haunted and scary things, which makes it a cryptid in my book.
Okay.
2 cryptids, apparently.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they are inseparable.
It's a yin and yang kind of thing.
Exactly.
Day and night.
You need boogity to come along with oogity. Oogity might be able to make it on its own, but boogity is right there always, on oogity's tail. So I would say that oogity boogity is the kind of a creature of shadows that loves to just jump out and scare you for no good reason. Literally, the bumps in the night. Literally, when you're like walking alone in some spooky place and you just have that sensation that something's coming up behind you and it's going to get you. And if you don't turn around and you look right away, it's going to get you. And then you spin around and there's nothing there. It's oogity and boogity who are laughing at you. They're kind of inspiring you to be afraid, but then laughing because there's nothing to be afraid of. Oogity Boogity are a prankster duo of cryptids.
I feel like they would have a power. You ever have an instance where all the hair stands up on your arm or the back of your neck? They are able to like go like
instantly
this,
create that.
and it's instant like goose flesh.
Right.
You're like, whoa, and it's them.
I
Like,
just
like,
got
like
oogity
this,
boogity.
and you're like, whoa, I got the oogity and the boogity.
Oogity and the
Although
boogity.
over time it's come to pass where it's not oogity and boogity, it's just oogity boogity.
Right.
Even though it's two entities, we've forgotten as time has passed.
Right. I think oogity is more about the feeling of unease, that kind of wheeziness. So like you can feel oogity. Sometimes you eat the wrong thing and like, oh, a little oogity. But boogity is more the blah, kind of like I'm immediately afraid.
So it's a
sort of
nauseous
thing.
fear because I don't want it.
Well, it's dread. It's that ebbing dread. But boogity is like boogity, and so now you're like, oh, I feel like, oh no. So the dread that comes before the scare, they go together.
I see.
Oogity is dread, and boogity is the scare. But because they conspire together, there's nothing really there, and they're just doing it to laugh at you.
For the lulls.
Yeah, just doing it for
Yeah.
the lulls.
So they're
and so
the-
probably many cryptids and many ghost stories are actually just Oogity and Boogity playing their little tricks.
Oh, so we've had spin-off stories just because of them. It was just them for many of these cryptids, but we're like, I know what it is. Skronk.
So they're like every teen bully in a 90s movie.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly. And that's probably what they look like. 90s era teen bullies.
Yes.
know.
Specifically the ones from Hocus Pocus is what I picture.
There you go. If you can picture a 90s era film or TV bully, there you go. They kind of
Exactly.
That's their laugh.
They're tricksters.
You hear it late at night.
Absolutely, yes.
But there's always one that's a little bit smarter who's
Right.
the leader. That's Oogity.
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 Oogity
And
is
then-
more about
Sure.
the planning stage.
Boogedy's there for the
And Boogedy's
ride.
there to push
Right.
you over.
Yeah, Boogity is the loafing, bumbling
The heavy.
idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a kick in the stomach.
Right.
Yes.
That's where you get that pit in the
Oh,
stomach.
yeah.
Ooh,
Oh.
That something doesn't feel right.
Right.
It's Boogedy.
There you go. Yeah,
No.
they're often found in abandoned places. They're often found in old, worn down.
That place your mom said
buildings.
don't go to.
Yeah, that place that all
but
the
of
kids
course
are
you
like,
went.
you can't go there.
You
And
straight
it's
went
like,
there.
All right, that's where you'll
90s.
find Oogity and Boogity.
Now, how do you think that we first learned about Oogity and Boogity? What do you think the origin story is for Oogity
well,
and Boogity?
I would say that it was an esteemed paranormal investigator who did a deep dive in several instances of just absolute sheer terror that proved to be nothing. And when people kept coming up with the same kind of sensations in the same area, he decided that he would take a deep dive look at it. And when he did, he, of course, uncovered that there was indeed this kind of two-part scenario that seemed to be happening to everyone. And he was the first one to realize that it was Oogity and Boogity.
It was just kind of like a blanket thing. Did you guys ever hear about the serial killer? But it was just a woman who worked in the labs and she was infecting all the swabs they had used.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So that's what Oogity and Boogity is. You think it's all this different stuff, but it's just like one source that looks like it could be all these things.
Wow.
There you go.
If not one of the most powerful cryptids.
No,
on
I-
the
yeah,
face of the earth.
absolutely.
It seems like they could be anywhere.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
not one specific location that they haunt.
Well,
It's
and that's scary
everything.
because
Right.
maybe there are many Oogity Boogities. Maybe, they just kind of form wherever there is a whisper of something creepy and scary, a new Oogity and Boogity appear and show up.
Wow.
They are evoked by the sense of dread that an abandoned or scary place projects.
This made up cryptid's freaking me out. Though. I don't like it.
I know this one's very
A little darker.
Yeah. It's
All right, we're making a short film, Oogity Boogity.
Oogity and Boogity. Ooh, yes. And you never know if that person standing next to you could be Oogity
or Boogity.
or Boogity.
That's right.
Coming this fall.
Coming this
Yes.
fall.
Wait, it is fall. Coming this winter.
Winter is coming. No, wait, we can't
No,
say
we
that
can't
either.
say
No. Winter is the best time to meet Oogity and Boogity.
That's right. There's already a chill in the air. Oh, is it Oogity or is it the weather? I can't tell.
So our last one that was sent in is Toodly Doo.
Toodly-doo.
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 And you have to say it like that. Otherwise, it doesn't sound right.
Toodly-doo.
Toodly-doo.
Yeah.
So it can't be like, hey, have you heard of toodly-doo? That's not the same thing.
No. It has to be said like a ridiculous farce play, like
Right.
British farce.
It's obviously the cousin of Tweedledee and Tweedledum is Toodly-doo.
It's kind of they got rid of that cousin. That's a black sheep of the family. Let's
Well,
be
you
honest.
figure Tweedledee and Tweedledum are not particularly friendly. You don't want to hang out with those two. So Toodly-doo always just wants to hang out and have, pettifours. Toodly-doo.
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 Oh, we have a background story to why this name came in.
That the person provided for us?
Yes,
Oh,
Ashley
perfect.
Warner came up with this one. Yes. So she said, I live in Toledo, and sometimes locals call it Toodly-doo. And I've always thought that sounded like the name of a methed out demon.
Methed out.
Methed out.
Method acting demon.
Well, that was a
Brilliant,
typo.
thank you.
That was a typo. I'm just reading it. Anyways, a methed out demon, which is very on brand for the residents of my city. I can agree with that. Toledo is unhinged, but
Have we been to Toledo?
We have. We had a great sandwich.
We drove through it, and I had the best French dip of your life. Actually, it was your French dip that I ate.
Wait a minute, you're the Boonkey.
You're the Boonkey Bandit.
Boonkey Bandit.
I'm surrounded by them.
It was pre-trash.
Exactly.
No, we were driving from D.C. to Chicago, and we stopped there for lunch, and that's the only time I've been there. But
Excellent.
French dip
French
one
dip.
time.
Okay, so
But we didn't see the Toodly-doo?
the
Toodly-doo.
The Toodly-doo.
The Toodly-doo.
So it has to live in Toledo, which
There
is
you
a
go.
scary cryptid.
That's Midwestern cryptids are ferocious
nightmare.
and nightmarish, and I could see the Toodly-doo kind of being evoked whenever anyone shows up to a place and mispronounces the local names. For instance, we have a Louisville Road that everyone calls Louisville Road, and that's just the way it goes. I think more people call it Louisville than Louisville, but it's actually Louisville.
I call it Louisville.
Houston Street.
Louisville.
Everyone calls it Houston Street, but it's actually Houston Street.
Somebody
Yes.
told me recently
So-
that Habersham is actually Habersham.
Yeah, Habersham.
Nah.
But like I said, could you imagine all the place, everybody, everywhere that is old school local knows all the names that everyone murders and
This
butchers.
thing can't be everywhere at once. This is a very
No, it's evoked.
widespread.
It's evoked. You mispronounce. Actually, it's not evoked when people mispronounce. It's evoked when people correct the mispronunciation.
Oh.
When people go, well, actually.
Well, actually, there's a actually demon out there. I'm certain of it.
Well, it's
yes.
the Toodly-doo.
Yeah.
The Toodly-doo is the actually demon.
You gotta actually.
Well, actually.
Thank you for
It's
helping.
pronounced Toledo, and it's like,
It's not Toledo.
Tomato.
Toodly-doo.
It's just this curmudgeon-y demon that is just waiting to correct you on your grammar.
It could be a witch. Toodly-doo. Toodly-doo.
I feel like I envision it showing up in the back of your car as two people are mispronouncing things driving around. Like that's where
yes.
it always shows up. It's got to be the back seat of the car,
Right.
and it'll be like, well, actually.
Take a left on Louisville Road.
That's exactly what it is. It's the curmudgeon-y cryptid that is just constantly there to belittle you and fact-check you.
No, that's
It's
it. It's the fact-checking demon.
It's like, actually, that wasn't created until 1963.
Oh no.
Oh no, its responsibilities have expanded.
That's a lot
now
of
it just
responsibility.
now it just knows everything.
It is the entire wealth of the internet, but only
only the
accurate-
snarky version.
It is.
It's the demon of snark.
It's the trolling commenters. Those are all toodly-doos.
That's it, Toodly-doos. Maybe Toodly-doos possess us and cause us to be the snarky,
Interesting.
correcting
So when
person.
we say, well, actually, it's the Toodly-doo.
The Toodly-doo's like,
behind you, like, well, actually, and you're like, well, actually, God, that came out of me.
Oh God.
Did I? Well, actually, you.
Don't do it, but you've been possessed already.
Right. It's very hard to exercise that demon.
It's very true. It's very true.
It lives in all
Because,
of us, perhaps.
he rewards you with smug self-satisfaction.
Some people just have stronger toodly-doos.
Yeah,
and
that's right. Some toodly-doo has a strong hold on you.
So it's like a gland, is what you're saying. I'm sorry. I will actually do 3 times a day. My toodly-doo gland is just acting up today.
Oh, must it?
I must get my gua sha and cleanse myself.
Cleanse them well, actually. Toodly-doo.
Let me go to my squonk altar. Oh, mighty squonk. Cleanse me of this toodly-doo.
And he just propels down. He's like,
I do think he'd be loud. I think he'd be really loud.
I can't imagine he makes any noises that are compelling because they're only things like oh God, we've lost all the listeners from these noises.
They're like, stop.
They're like, I'm done with this. Unsubscribe.
You didn't have to mic them. They're just squonking for a half hour.
It's called art.
I'd love to see the auto captions on this one.
Oh God.
YouTube's like,
Squonk? That can't be right.
Tootly-do?
Tootly-doo. Yeah, we went a long way from our original inception of Tootly-doo.
It's way more widespread than Toledo.
Yeah, I just see it because Tootly-doo sounds like a tea sipping, like, oh, Tootly-doo.
Toodly-doo,
Yeah.
an afternoon
But
tea
now it's
for
like,
me and you.
Well, so Toodly-doo, to wrap that up, I guess, originated in Toledo.
Right.
But then
was there meth involved here?
Yes, and then it spawned from the meth.
Okay.
And so there was a
It's
chemical reaction.
a mix between, demonic presence and methamphetamines.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Well, it's like when you get a gremlin wet or, you feed it after midnight and it grows this little blobs on its back that explode into gremlins.
That's so very graphic, but yes, I got it. I'm on it.
Yes, so that's exactly how the Toodly-Doo spawns. Every time it takes the meth from Toledo specifically, then
You know that Toledo meth.
I feel like Toledo's taking a beating in this episode.
No, they have the best meth in the States.
Toledo, we have nothing but respect for you.
This is all
Sorry.
hypothetical.
It's-
We love your sandwiches.
Yes, we love your sandwiches. Great sandwiches.
We have a good amount of Toledo followers.
Well, listen, this is all hypothetical. This is joke. This
This is
Don't
joke.
make it up for it.
Well, actually,
Toledo is a wonderful
actually-
sword, by the way. Lovely made Toledo steel. So, yes, okay, that's great.
yes.
I guess that's Spain. Sorry.
Let's just have 30 seconds of just talking
Phrasing.
so good about Toledo. Go.
yes, Toledo.
Toledo, you are in Ohio.
You're so close to Canada.
we love you, Toledo. Keep doing that Toledo-y thing.
Be as
Yes.
Toledo can be.
Yes. You are totally Toledo.
Oh, wow. They should really
When
keep
I
that
was
one
young,
up.
I did not suppose that Toledos were the same as torpedoes. That was not something that happened when I was a child. I didn't think people fired Toledos out of ships. That was.
That's a torpedo.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
But you should be honored that you got
Now.
your own cryptid.
yes,
and-
now
and-
you have a Toledo-doo, a Toodly-doo.
Toodly-doo.
A Toodly-doo.
And you have Ashley Werner, which
Yeah.
a great addition to
That
your
tells us
town.
everything we need to know. It's a great town if it produces Ashley Werners.
Absolutely.
Did you know Savannah and Hilton Head do an aggressive billboard campaign in Ohio?
No.
Aggressive. That's why when I used to shoot elopements, we had a ton of Ohio people. A lot of them moved to Hilton Head. They retire here. So apparently Ohio's just covered in billboards about Savannah and Hilton Head.
That's so
you go.
interesting.
Way to go visit Savannah.
Yeah, go to Savannah.
They're like, it's cold there. They'd love it here.
Right, that's true.
Billboard.
I would imagine that that appealing to snowbirds in any southern destination place, you're like, it's warm here.
And that's all you need, right?
Snowbird is also a really good cryptid.
That would be a great cryptid, the snowbird.
The snowbird.
Caw.
The second,
They're all Pokemon to you, aren't they?
the first sign of snow, they suddenly sprout wings and they fly down to the south to take up our housing.
Right.
It's,
Driving up real estate prices.
that one's just going on the live stream. I'm so sorry.
You're making a lot of editing for me.
You shouldn't have let us have this much rain. It's anyways, thank you guys so much for listening to this. If you've made it this far, good on you.
Well done.
Well done. You've made it.
I barely made it this long.
But yes, if you would like us to do more improv-y fun nonsense like this, to have a palate cleanser from all the deep theory that we do.
Yeah. Swear.
Let
See,
us
we
know.
can have fun.
We can. We're fun. We're fun.
Silence.
It's not all death and mayhem and horror and sadness and sorrow.
But if you want to see more of these, let us know. And maybe next time we'll open it up to the public so that we can hear some of your thoughts of what you would think a fun cryptid or demon
Absolutely.
would be.
This was fun.
Yes. But thank you guys again. And thank you, Megan, for joining us.
Thanks for having me. This was amazing.
Yes. We'll always bring Megan on for the improv-y stuff because she enjoys this. This is more in her wheelhouse.
Yeah, that's true.
Than the spooky. But yes. So thank you guys again. If you haven't already considered becoming a Parajunkie, definitely join us if you would like to over on Patreon. Also, you can follow us on all social media platforms, including X, which we have now, which formerly Twitter. It is brand spanking new, as of a few days.
Known as Twitter.
Yes.
Tweets.
So that is...
So do we post X's now?
Every once in a while. We're trying to figure it out.
No, I mean, is that what it's called?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's called X's.
Instead of tweets?
I guess.
Okay.
Yeah. You're sending...
That's weird because now you're like, last night I sent out a bunch of late night X's.
Oh, hey, I just posted my X.
I posted my X. It's like, what? Wait, what?
Maybe they should be called X
But
letters.
you said she ate your hair.
That's a squonk.
That is the squonk. Oh God, poor squonk. We also love squonks, so don't let that fool you. But anywho, thank you guys. My name is Madison Timmons.
I'm Chris Soucy.
And stay spooky, y'all.